hands up in the air till they gun me down. I keep it 100, they crunching the numbers, I'm being wild. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, and I just leave impression. Next to rain, all they window pane, puffy plain Jane. Let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the pores in the skin. Rip the wheels, let the horses just why they trash, another chore on my list. Out of this orbit, I soar with the pen. I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit. I sipped the potion and poured it in. I on the tide when she poured it. Opportunity, knock at the door, then I grin. They rush for the doors, then they open like bliss.
Everyone, welcome everyone. I know y'all, hey, this is happy hour with Hendrix, but he's not here tonight, so Mo is taking over. Look, real quick, won't be on here for long. The title of the show is I Got Back Up. Q thought this would be good as a way to reintroduce ourselves after 5 years, but more importantly, to discuss our own overcomeisms. So we're going to talk about, you already know about Hendrix and his lupus, and we'll talk about some other things throughout the year, just so you can know us better. But everyone, come in. We're gonna have a fabulous show tonight. It'll be about 15 or 20 minutes, not that long, because I know y'all are, this daylight saving time is really messing with people. Come on in. Come on, welcome. Like I said, this is Happy Hour with Hendrix, but Mo is taking over tonight. And as always, the conversation is our opinions and your entertainment, and for your entertainment purposes only, age 21 to watch. Listen and participate in the conversations. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Come on in. Remember, viewer discretion is advised. I had to read that. Q was like, don't forget to read it. Okay, so everyone, look. This is Happy Hour with Hendrix. You know, this is Wednesday night. This is when my boy just gets stuff off his chest. But tonight, I'm just popping in on him, on his show for him. And I want to talk to you today about, the title of the show should be I Overcame or Overcome or I Got Back Up or something like that. What I want to share with you, not many people know this in MTG land, but I am a brain tumor removal survivor. I think it's another phrase I'm supposed to use, but I had what was called a meningioma, and guess what? I had it in 2000. My surgery was January 12th, 2007. Here's my bag of hair. When I woke up from my surgery, I'm glad they didn't tell me before. They had taken they had shaved my head. And it was so funny because I can remember this like yesterday. Hey, Alicia, thank you so much for joining us. Come on in, family. Although this is Happy Hour with Hendrix Wednesday, Mo is taking over. I'm talking about overcoming, or how I overcame, because Q wants the um, MTG audience to know us a little bit better, and to give us some insights. And we already know about Reggie and his bout with lupus, and his everyday bout with lupus, because when the weather changes from hot to cold or something like that, he's not 100%. But I want to let you know, in 2007, January 12th, 2007, I had a brain tumor removed. But that's not where the story begins. It's really where it ends. They removed a 3.5 centimeter by 1.7 centimeter tumor from my brain. It's called in the meninges. The story really began in 2005. It was on a Friday. I lived in Houston. I was living in Houston. On Fridays, because I had my own company and I conduct seminars, on Fridays, I would pick up my clothes from the cleaners. I would then go get something to eat, go to the grocery store, go back home, and prepare for my Saturday seminars, because I would have seminars every Saturday. Oh, and I did all of those things. Went to the grocery store, went to the place called Two Pesos down there. It's no longer there. And got my clothes from the dry cleaners, went home, and I could not take the groceries out of my car. I lived upstairs. I got to my apartment and I just laid on the couch. I left most of my groceries in the car because they were like cans things and stuff, but I left most of them in the car. Every time my head would bang, and every time it did, it would just take me out. So I laid on the couch, and I told a girlfriend, I said, "Yeah." I called. I said, "I got the world's worst headache. I've never had a headache like this before." And being how she is, she came over and she was like, "Girl, your groceries are still in the car." I was like, "I know." So she put the groceries up for me. She was so sweet. Um, I was on the couch, and then she's like, "Well, do you need anything?" I was like, "No, I'm fine. It's a headache. I'll take care of it." And that was a Friday. She was cool. Saturday, every time my heart beat, my head would hurt. I mean, imagine your head just boom, 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 boom. So that's a Saturday. So I called another girlfriend who has migraines. I said, and I was calling, I was talking to her, I said, "Is it?" I said, I'm trying to describe how the headache felt. And I was like, "Is this a migraine? Is this how a migraine is? Talk to me. Tell me something." And she said, "If you were having a migraine, you wouldn't be able to speak." And I was like, "Well, you know what? I don't have a migraine, so I'm good. I'm I just have a headache. I need to do what my mom used to tell me when I would get a headache. Drink some water." Okay. Then there are these things that we take in North Carolina called BC powders. So I took a BC powder, still didn't help. And with me, one BC powder, I'm pretty much going to sleep, but not this day. So I said, "You know what? I'm gonna drink more water, drink a gallon of water, over the course of the time Saturday." I said it's gonna be better. I'm gonna wake up and go to church Sunday. I woke up, went to church. No, I woke up, wanted to go to church, call another girlfriend. See, because you can't be bothering the same folk over and over. I said, "Look, I need your mom to come over here and take me to the hospital." That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. And she was like, "Okay." So they both came over, took me to the hospital, and the emergency room doctor, I should have known something was bad. She was going to do a spinal tap. And she said, "No, I can't do a spinal tap. I made a call to the neurosurgeon on duty." He came in, he had this big needle. He said, "Don't move either way." He said, "Don't move at all or you'll be paralyzed." I was like, "Well, I'm not moving." And I should have known. See, these are little clues that God gives you, little clues that God gives you. The ER calling the neurosurgeon on duty. The neurosurgeon, he took the vials because he did a spinal tap. He removed fluid from my spine. I believe that's what it's called. He took 3 vials, put them in his pocket, and went to the lab. He took him to the lab himself. Now I'm in the fourth largest city in America, Houston, Texas. This ain't no small hospital. Himself. And then I get into this room. Wheel me into a room. I'm not feeling no better, but they are trying to give me something for the headache. And then he says, "Well, we're going to do an MRI." All right. I'm like, "Okay." So they wheel me into an MRI. They're like, "Do you do well in enclosed spaces?" I was like, "No." They gave me something, kind of knocked me out. So I woke up the next morning. He comes to the room and he says, "Good morning, Monique. You have a brain tumor." I ain't never been speechless before in my life. I was so speechless that I had to motion for him to write what he was saying because he was telling me I had a meningioma, brain tumor, da 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 da. Couldn't understand it. Couldn't get it. Couldn't understand it. So I did motion like this, and so he wrote everything down. He was very kind. He said, "But what I did was," and he said, "You have a brain tumor." But he forgot to tell me. Well, he didn't forget, but he said, "Oh yeah, and you have meningitis." And I was like, he said, "But it's viral. It's viral meningitis. There's nothing I can give you for it because it's viral. Had it been bacterial," and I said, "Well, if it had been bacterial," he said, "you waited too long. You'd have been dead." You hear what I'm saying? Because remember, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, said you waited too long. I was like, "Oh my word." So in the midst of this, good morning, Monique, you have a brain tumor. Oh, and yeah, you had viral meningitis. He told me, this is what he told me. He said, you're going to have surgery to have it removed. Okay. And we're going to do a wait and see. So every 6 months, you're going to have to go get a MRI. Okay. And then the last thing he said, well, what you're going to do is I took so much fluid out of your spine and it came out clear. So I was confident that it wasn't bacterial meningitis, that it was just, you know, viral meningitis, but it came out so slow. Listen, that I thought that you should get a CAT scan or MRI because I thought you had a brain tumor. I said, oh, my word. See, an ER physician may not have known that, but she called, you hear me? She called the neurosurgeon who's on duty to do the spinal tap. Because had she seen that it was clear, she'd been like, okay, it's clear. It's meningitis. It's not bacterial meningitis. But she may not have had the forethought to say, let me take the vials myself. Let me oversee the process and let me see if she and give her a CAT scan or MRI. I'm just saying, things happen the way they're supposed to, even though when you don't see it. So let's fast forward. So this is it was January. So of that year, my birthday's in April. So what I was doing was I was preparing to die because see that man said you had a brain tumor. So I was like, well, no wonder God didn't I didn't get married. No wonder I didn't have a family. Now I see it so clearly and it was a relief. It was a relief because had I been married or had children and have a brain tumor, I wouldn't have had it removed. But the doctor said you'll have to have it removed. But if I had children or a family, I wouldn't have had it removed because the odds of coming back was so slim that I wouldn't have wanted to put them through this. So, but God knew. God said no, no marriage, no children for you. And then I said, okay, well now I understand why I never got married. Now I understand why I never had no children. So I said I'm good now. I'm good. So I started in that January of planning my birthday party because it was going to be my last birthday party because I had been diagnosed with a what? That's right, with a brain tumor. But because of what happens, got my Sunday Houston Chronicle, reading through the Chronicle like an old lady. You know, I read the obituary section. Well, in the obituary section to the right hand side, MD Anderson, #1 cancer hospital in America, according to me, had a free well, let me say it free, had a 3-day seminar regarding brain tumors. What? What? 3-day seminar. But remember where my head was. I was trying to get my what? Hey, Reggie. I was trying to get myself together so I could do my last birthday party. So I was looking at obituaries, and because I was also going to write my own obituary. This is where I was in my mind. I'd accepted it. I was okay with it. I was happy with it. I was like, yes, okay. But I got back up. See, because what I want y'all to understand is that sometimes people will bring you news and you automatically you will accept it or you just or don't accept it and you're not in the not best place. So I have my birthday party. It was very nice, very nice. The people who came just supported me and everything, and I gave them a little speech, and then I said, okay, then that was it. Well, this MD Anderson seminar thing for brain tumors, they would look at your brain scans for free and determine the best course of action. And they also had speakers who would speak regarding their brain tumors, what they have what they'd gone through and what they still had to go through. And I was like, oh, that's very nice of them. You know, I and two other people were the only people of color there. Is about 150, 200 people. People come from near and far, but all I had to do was come across the freeway because of where I lived in relation to MD Anderson and where they had this a conference. It's a brain tumor conference. So I was blessed in that they could look at my scans. and they could tell what was the best course of action. See, you don't understand me. The man said I had a brain tumor. I said, okay. I said, and do my let me go ahead and do my party, and then let me go ahead and figure out how I'm gonna do this obituary and what I'm away and stuff. That's where I was. That's where my head was. It was no pleading with God, why me? Why me? Just let me. I was just like, okay, I have the answer. God gave me the answer. I prayed for the answer. I thank him for the answer. Now let me go on. Well, speaking to the people in MD Anderson. Now, understand when you're dealing with brain tumors and you talk to the business side of the people at the MD Anderson, and you talk about, for those who don't know, MD Anderson Cancer Hospital is the one of the premier cancer hospitals in the world. You have people from all over the world coming there for treatment. Just want to let you know if you didn't know. It's in Houston, Texas. And what happened was, and I'm just so grateful. What happened was, I met some people who had a similar diagnosis of a meningioma. And then I read up on it. And then it seems like, you know how when somebody passes away of a heart attack or cancer, a certain kind of cancer, you always hear that over and over and over again. Well, I'm just letting you know that happened with me. So I would hear about meningiomas. I would hear about women who had them. And I just still was in that mindset. Okay, well, okay, I'm gonna wear that purple or that periwinkle, and then I'm gonna have that light colored casket with the brass around it, and that's where I was. So what had happened was I got more information. Found out that my meningioma was the slowest growing brain tumor there is, and typically they're benign, so they're non-cancerous. However, many women, and there are many women, more women than men are diagnosed with it, usually don't know that they have it until they're dead, till after they're dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It causes havoc all through the body and the mind, of course. And a lot of questions were answered about my conduct, about my thinking, about at that time about my stinking thinking, because I had a really bad attitude. I still got remnants of it now, but I had a real bad attitude down there. You couldn't tell me nothing. Didn't want to talk to you, because if you couldn't tell me nothing, I didn't want to talk to you. Let that go. So what I wanted you to know is that I have been holding on to this hair because after I had the surgery and they wheel you out, I guess. They put the hair in. I wake up at the hospital and I look down and I see this hair. But let me tell you something. Remember, I told you that I was diagnosed in Houston, right? Right? I was diagnosed in Houston, Texas. Not a problem. And I had that birthday party. I was diagnosed in January, had that birthday party in April, you know, and that last birthday party, I thought it was ready to die. Um, what you don't understand is that I started changing my way. I started changing my way of thinking and living. Because remember, I only had 6, 7 months to live. That's not what the doctor said, but I thought I knew everything. So sometimes you have to get back up. So what happened was I had a friend who said, "Hey, I got this guy you want to meet. You want to go out on a date with him?" I was like, "Okay, fine." Yeah. Because nothing was going to come of it, right? Because I had a brain tumor. So I met this guy in October because he came down from Dallas, and I was like, okay. We went to our first date was Dave and Buster's. Went to some kind of movie that I still don't know the name of it. Went to Dave and Buster's, kicking it, having fun, ha ha ha. He he takes me back to my house, and he's like, "Well, do you want to go to IHOP the next day?" I was like, "Can a sister breathe?" I said, "No, not IHOP." I said, okay, we go to Papa Do's for lunch. And we had a wonderful conversation. He was intelligent, he was articulate, he was funny, he was super smart. And so we had a great conversation. But see, that was in October. See, I was already ready to die in January. I was planning everything. I knew Reverend Harris of Brook Hollow Baptist Church, a church without walls in Houston, Texas, 5725 Queenston. I knew he was gonna officiate, and I knew I was gonna have Minister Willie Lane there. from United Methodist Church, and then I was gonna have it in a small chapel because I don't have that many friends, and I had it all done, had it all in my head. But remember, January I was diagnosed. April, my birthday, I had my last birthday party. October, I met this guy, and dang, if January the next year I was moving to Dallas, and I said, well, God, I'm supposed to be trying to get this funeral ready. This man done told me he loved me. I told him I loved him. And he said, okay, so you got a brain tumor, no big. I said, oh, yes. See how life does that? So I just wanted you to know I got back up. I was knocked down. I was diagnosed with meningitis, diagnosed with a brain tumor, thought I was out for the count. But when God tells you to get back up, I had nothing else to do I got back up. And I want to let you know on this day that that brain tumor was taken out. Let me see. So see, that's how much it don't affect me no more. See, 2007. It's 2022. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8, 9, 21, 22. What? Was that about 15 years ago? That brain tumor got removed. And I've been married to that man for 12 years. The one who I said I just have go out with him a date. 12 or 13. I think 12, 13. 13? Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to jump on here. I know I didn't want to waste y'all's time. I just wanted to let you know that if I got back up after viral meningitis, after being told you got a brain tumor, I just want to let you know that you can do it too. Because if he did it for somebody like me who had a nasty attitude, ooh, you couldn't tell me nothing, then he will do it for you. Look, I want to break real quick for our commercial, and then I'll come back with my parting words. Hi, welcome back, everyone. Of course, this is Happy Hour with Hendrix, but Hendrix is not here. So Mo decided to jump in, doing what she always do, trying to take over, do something. But look, want to thank you, our Mash to Gas listeners. Want to certainly thank our international listeners. Bonsoir. That's the only thing I know in French. And I want to thank you, our viewers. Our international viewers have topped 1,000. Our U.S. viewers have topped over 10,000. We couldn't have done it without you. 5 years, even though Q is on the show, y'all still watch. We are blessed. Remember our shows. Today's show, I got back up with Mo. I just wanted to go over to my little brain tumor scenario, what I went through and how I got back up and just give you my little testimony. And I want to let you know that remember Happy Hour with Hendrix. It's every Wednesday. Then you had that show where they be talking about this sex all the time with Arbor, not Barbara, and Q. Well, he don't talk about it because you really can't talk about what you don't know because he don't know nothing about that. And then on Saturdays on Facebook Live. Oh, and then we're on YouTube. We just mash the gas coming at you. 5 year, 5 year, 5 years. Mash the gas. So we want to thank you. We want to thank you for listening. Want to thank you for clicking on our site. Want to thank you for getting more information. Want to thank you over there who asked about merchandise is coming soon. Want to thank you for your prayers. We want to thank everyone out there in Master Gas Land. We love you. We thank you. And we just want you to know that if you got something to say, we're going to mash the gas with you, baby. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. And thank you. Happy Hour with Hendrix will return with Hendrix next Wednesday. Bye.
Yeah. Hands up in the air, they gun me down. I keep it 100, they crunching the numbers, I'm getting out. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, and I just leave impression. Next to rain, on the window pane, puffy plain Jane. Let them second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the pores of the skin. Whip the wheels, let the horses just why they trash, another chore on my list. Out of this orbit, I saw with the pen. I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit. I sip the potion and pour